Hey guys, how you going? I want to come on and talk about this impeachment and Pelosi. Okay. You do realise a lot of people out there are thinking that Trump is not president anymore. He is. There is a process that impeachment has to go through. It just doesn't mean once someone says that someone's impeached, that does not mean they are out and out of office and straight away impeached. It has to go through the House and the Senate. Now, when it gets to the House, as most of them are Democrats, as most of you are aware, it will probably pass a vote through the House. Get the vote, if it hasn't already. I don't know if that's happened already. I've been a bit busy the last few days, so I don't know if she's actually taken it to the House yet, but they have to vote on it, and they probably will. But then when it gets to the Senate, what I believe and what I've heard is that they can then be put on the stand. The people who are accusing Trump, who want impeachment, will have to take the stand and prove their case. Now, when they haven't got anything on him, they're not going to be able to do that. But then everybody else, they can be questioned then as to what they were doing. And as far as we all know, Trump and the team have the evidence against these people. So they've got nothing on Trump, but Trump has got a lot on them. So why they are pushing this, they're pretty much cutting off their own heads, the Democrats. So, and it won't happen. Look, this is all planned, okay? It's not going to happen, and actually something really, really big is coming shortly where a lot of people will be awakened straight away. I don't know what it is. I believe there's an arrest coming, and I don't know who it is. I'd be hoping it's this one here, or Schiff. But we don't know. So we're waiting for someone to be arrested and see who it is. In the meantime, go and watch Kip Simpson. Every day he is reporting on lower level Democrats being arrested. A lot of them. So, and council members and mayors and things like that. So it has started, guys. It's not happening. It has started. We just haven't seen any of the bigger ones go yet. But if you think about it, if they cut off all the... It's like... put it as a body, okay? Imagine it as a body, and that the little people are the legs. Once you cut off the legs, they can't run. They can't move. That's how I sort of look at it. And I know it's weird, a weird analogy, but that's what it to me is like. It's like if they go after the littler ones, they're the little people who do all their dirty work, so they won't be able to get any dirty work done. And then they'll be coming after these ones here. So I'll read this. Exclusive: Dershowitz: Pelosi doesn't have the impeachment power she believes. I keep forgetting that my face is on the because I can't see that. Can I see the writing? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi doesn't have the power she believes to prevent the Senate's participation in impeachment proceedings, former Harvard Law School professor Alan Dershowitz said Thursday. Whether the House wants it to be in the Senate or not, the matter is now properly before the Senate, Dershowitz said in a call with the Republican National Lawyers Association. The presiding officer of the Senate can set a trial date, convene the Chief Justice, and begin the trial. So I don't think that Pelosi has the power that she thinks she has, or that my colleague Larry Tribe thinks she has. Harvard Law professor Lawrence Tribe has suggested the House withhold the trial until the Senate changes its rules to be more favourable to Democrats, or until another election puts more Democrats in the chamber. Senate rules requiring the House to immediately present its articles of impeachment to the Senate clearly violate the constitutional clause in Article 1, giving each House the sole power to make its own rules, Tribe wrote in a December 18th tweet. He subsequently deleted the message, related despite viewership woes, CNN retains strangleholder. What's that got to do with it? I can imagine nothing more unconstitutional than a House impeachment without sending it to the Senate, Dershowitz said. It's just unheard of. The Constitution provides that it is a two-step process, not a one-step process. It doesn't say the President may be impeached, period, and that's the end of the matter. It says the President may be impeached, and if he's impeached by the House, the Senate then gets to decide whether he should be removed. The idea that a stain would remain on the books, that the President would remain impeached without an opportunity for the President to get acquitted by the Senate is plainly unconstitutional, he added. It would be as if a prosecutor decided he had insufficient evidence to get a conviction, so he went after an ordinary citizen and said, "Look, I'm just going to indict him. Let the public know he's indicted. For the rest of his life he'll stand indicted, but I have no intention of bringing him to trial. I will deny him his Sixth Amendment right to speedy trial. I'm going to let the indictment just hang out there. Obviously, no judge would tolerate that." Dershowitz said the President could seek to have the matter dismissed if it did not proceed to trial, but that it would probably be a mistake at this stage. Could the President now go to the courts and say, "Look, while the Constitution says the House is the sole judge of impeachment, they have now violated the Constitution?" That's a question mark. Sorry, I'm trying to read it how it's presented. The President's legal team could theoretically go before the Chief Justice and seek to dismiss. And of course, Obama wanted to know everything his Trump spies were doing. The option that will probably be decided on is to make legal arguments, probably no witnesses, probably no experts, and leave it to the Senate whether to acquit or convict, and they're going to acquit him. Without witnesses and without any proof of anything he's done wrong, you can't convict him. It's unlikely, based on the evidence that's been presented thus far to the House, that there will be a vote of acquittal, Dershowitz said. Remember, you need 2/3 to convict. The reason we need 2/3 to convict is the framers did not want a partisan impeachment. They wanted an overwhelming consensus in favour of removing a president. And that's all this is, guys. They just don't like him, and they want to remove him. It's as simple as that. Pelosi has no leverage, see? If she doesn't send articles, we go back to confirming judges. If Pelosi doesn't send articles, we won't deal with impeachment. But that's what she wants, doesn't she? Just to hang on and have them hang on and everyone hang on. So, Maxine Waters, if the Senate clears Trump, he's going to bring Putin to the White House. So what if he does? It's in everyone's best interest that the superpowers, the major powers of the world, get along. If they can. My goodness, what is wrong with people? Mo Brooks warns of a mentally erratic Chief Justice presiding over impeachment. Impeachment was all-consuming for some Dems and some GOPers. Yeah, Robert De Niro, you're going to go down. You can't talk. So, yeah, anyway, guys, I won't leave you hanging on there. What I wanted to actually say was exactly what this just said. It has to go to through the House first with a vote to whether to impeach or not. Then it has to go to the Senate for a trial, or for them to decide whether to convict or not. And to decide that, they pretty much need a trial. So let's see how this goes. But guys, honestly, if you follow Q, grab your popcorn and just sit back and watch. It's like a movie. This is like I've tried to describe this to people. This is like better than any James Bond movie. Does anyone understand what I'm talking about with Q and everything going on? But this is actually better than a James Bond movie. It's like a real life movie. And we're all part of it. It's so strange. Anyway, but I'm all for it. Look, I don't like or dislike Trump. I don't know the guy. But if he's doing what I hear he's doing for America, then I'm behind him. And in fact, you've got people all over the world who are behind him. And people in Hong Kong flying the American flag and praising Trump. I read on Facebook yesterday, someone wrote, we could swap our Prime Minister for Trump. I know a lot of my friends wouldn't like. A lot of my friends don't like Trump. But that's because they listen to our news, and our news copies the US news like CNN and MSNBC and all them. And so that's all we ever get. And so everyone hates Trump. And to be honest, if you ask them truly why, they just spout what the TV's told them. Or he peed on some Russians, or that was made up. It was actually a rumour that we have recently found out was a rumour that was taken as serious. And once it's out there, guys, you know as well as I do, once they put these things out there, in the court of public opinion, most people are going to believe that they've done that. And even if they retract those stories, it won't matter because most people have believed it the minute. And another thing I've noticed that a lot of people do, a lot of people, and I do it too sometimes, so don't get me wrong, read headlines and not read the story inside. Because sometimes the headline is like to get you to look inside. But I can tell from some comments people make on Facebook and things like that, they haven't even read it. They've gone by the actual, sometimes the story inside is completely different. And that's how you can tell. It's so easy to do, and I've got a lot of people hating our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison. But I actually think he might be like a sleeper, ready to go when Trump calls it, because he did go and meet with Trump, and if he's not going to do the job, we're going to kick him out and we'll get someone who will do the job. So he better. That's all I can say. Otherwise, we need someone, to be honest, like Pauline Hanson, willing to give Australia back to the people, as far as we know, as far as they tell us. Anyway, guys, we're all in the same boat. Worldwide, we're all in the same boat. If you're in Canada and the UK, I feel for you too. In the US, I feel for everybody, because this is just, what a time in history, though. But what a time in history to be alive. Does anyone else feel that? Like, I've been sick for about 15 years, and all I've wanted to do was, I just said to myself, I want to be alive to see this all go. I want to be alive to see it. Because at first I thought it was just going to go bang and everything would go bad. Because that's where I thought we were headed, until Q came on the scene and Trump came on the scene and then started talking to us and then cleared a few things up and made us go, oh, okay. So, because if anyone looks into conspiracy theories at all, Q has confirmed a lot of those for us. And I believe Q is part of military, or very, very close to the president anyway, if not the president himself. I know people think, I think it's at Q+. Q+ is the president. But that, you don't know. Q could be Trump. We don't know. Could be Assange, could be anyone. And didn't he say we'd laugh when we found out who it was? It's going to get interesting, guys. All I can say is grab your popcorn. This is going to be good. Something big's coming really soon. Okay, guys. Hopefully I will talk to you very soon, and have a good one. Okay, bye guys.